Hi Ward 5 and especially residents of the Hamilton Beach community. I'm down here at Windermere Basin Park and you'll see right in behind me the industrial skyline. Today I really want to talk about the steel sector in Hamilton. Many of you who live on the beach, it'll be not news to you that over the years we've had chronic challenges with emissions from both Stelco and ArcelorMittal Dofasco, and those emissions are really continuing as I stand here today. It's something that I've spent a lot of my time paying attention to and encouraging other community members through our work at Environment Hamilton to observe, document, and report when we see these problems. And we know that's made a difference over the years. So we definitely have to continue with that work. But I wanted to share with all of you today, if you're not aware, some really fantastic news. And that is that we're going to see some transformative changes down at ArcelorMittal Dofasco. They now have the necessary federal and provincial funding in place in combination with a pretty significant investment from the corporation to transform their Hamilton facility from a primary steel, integrated steel mill to a new one. And it's going to use a combination of what's called direct reduced iron and electric arc furnace. So the company already has an electric arc furnace. They'll be building a new, very large one. My understanding is it'll be the largest in North America. And the combination of that technology, the direct reduced iron and the EAF, electric arc furnace, means that they'll no longer need that primary production side of the plant. So if you think about that, that means no more coke plants, no more coke byproduct plant, no more blast furnaces, no more basic oxygen furnace, and all of the negative environmental impacts that come from the operation of those facilities. So it's huge and it's positive. And the plan is to have that new technology in place by 2028, so a mere 6 years from now. I should also explain that another important reason why they're doing this, first and foremost, I would say in the government's mind for sure, is that this is going to help the company to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions. ArcelorMittal Dofasco is the largest point source of greenhouse gas emissions in the province. And this first step by 2028 will reduce those emissions by 60%. They'll be doing direct reduced iron making, fueled by natural gas. And ultimately, in the long term, they're going to shift to using green hydrogen. And so that means hydrogen that's produced using renewable energy. And when they get to that point, the reduction in greenhouse gases is going to be profoundly significant, close to a 0% emission of greenhouse gases. So that's really important and exciting to think about, that step towards climate resilience. That's also going to keep that industry viable. And I should mention too, for me, that's really important in our community. I'm from a steel family and I know a lot of people in the city are. I had grandfathers who worked in the mills. My father worked at Dofasco for 35 years. I spent a summer as a university student working in Dofasco to help pay for my education. So I know how important those jobs are. So to me, it's also really exciting that they're transitioning and they're bringing us into the realm of green economy, which is so, so important. But the next 6 years are years that we're going to have to pay close attention. We know that the company is going to continue to operate the coke plant, the blast furnaces, the basic oxygen furnace, and these are old facilities. So we really need to work collectively to keep an eye on what's happening down here. The last thing that we want to see over the next 6 years are unacceptable impacts on the community, particularly neighborhoods like the Hamilton Beach community, which is downwind. The prevailing winds take industrial emissions your way. So what I want to say to all of you is that in my role now at Environment Hamilton, I watch, and I'm definitely committed to continuing to do that and to getting the city to pay more attention. I think far too often we hear city leaders say that these facilities are in the jurisdiction of the provincial government and the provincial Ministry of the Environment. But I believe very firmly that the municipality has an important role to play in speaking out and holding our industrial neighbors to account. And I would add too that that holds true with seeing that transformation happen to the new technology in a timely manner. So I'm really looking forward to the shift, but in the meantime, cautious about what we'll see in the next 6 years and hoping that we can all work together to make sure that we don't have to deal with negative impacts from the facility in the transition period. Thanks, everyone.